Hello, my name is Josh Kanuchak. I am 13 years old. I have done origami for 10 years, and today we will be doing some origami. A little history on origami is that ori, meaning folded, and kami, meaning paper. Therefore, it is a paper folding art. Today we will be making a few simple objects, a dog head, to get the basics down, folding, and then we'll go up to something more like a crane, which is over here, and we'll also then finish up with a dragon, ending off with that. All right, so this is a single unit origami, which just means that there's one piece of paper that you'll use to create the entire model. And they tend to be simpler and easier than these modular origamis. For example, these are modular origamis. They're special modular origamis called kusudama balls. So for the first thing that we're going to make, we are going to be making an origami dog. A very simple origami. It's to demonstrate basic folds to allow you to start off. And generally easy fold. You could go and decorate it if you want, if you use white paper. And even if you use colored paper, you can still go ahead and do it. So first, what you want to do is you want to flip your paper over to the white side, and then you'll want to fold it triangularly in something called a valley fold, which a valley fold is just a fold that you do on the top side of the paper. And you fold it to the front. There's another kind, it's called mountain folds. You fold the front layer to the back. So then you'll get your triangle shape. I will be doing this towards you so that you will hold your paper like this to you, but I will orient this for your simplicity. Then next you'll want to take this triangle part and you'll want to fold it down some amount just to make the ears, and you'll do that for the other one, and it doesn't really matter. This is a very lenient model, so you can have a small head, you can have large ears, it doesn't really matter. And then you're going to be doing a mountain fold back here. You're going to take the bottom down here and you're going to fold it back. What I like doing for mountain folds is you're going to flip it over and then do it so that you end up having your fold better, because if you do it from here, it's much harder to see. And then, so now you've finished your dog. It will look like this. Sometimes you can even stand it up.
Great.
All right, that's fine. All right, so let's start like this. And then next, we will be folding our origami crane. Now this is going to be a big jump, so you're going to be doing a whole lot of mountain folds and valley folds, but you're also going to be doing something called a squash fold, and it's where you open up part of the module and then flatten it to create a new shape. And you're going to be using detail folds, and you're also going to be using, finally, some guide folds, which are special folds that you do that you're going to follow in the future to make some of the more complicated folds easier. So first, what you're going to do is you're going to fold your paper crosswise like this by folding it to one side and then unfolding it and then doing it the other way. Once you have that done, you now have a nice cross in the middle of your paper. Then what you'll want to do is you'll want to do more triangular folds like this, and then you'll want to do it the other way like you did the crosses. So you'll start off by doing it one way again, and then after that you will want to open your module up and then do it the other way. The reason you open up your module when you do it is because otherwise your folds will actually be different when you open up your module for some of the more complicated folds. It will create some folds facing outwards, which means they're poking out, but some folds will be facing inwards, which means they're facing down. And that will affect the simplicity of some of the folds that you'll be doing. So this fold will be complicated. You're going to take one of your edges in your cross, and you're going to fold it along there. And then you're going to take your middle line that you have from folding along the diagonals, and you're going to open the model up so that you can see this white part. And then you're going to fold the other side down in, and then you're going to open it up again, and then you're going to fold everything back down. Then you'll have a much smaller square, normally 1/4 of your paper. And then this is called the Waterbomb Base, which is a base that you use for some more complicated origamis. Make sure at this point, and this isn't very important, that this opening part is facing towards you, because otherwise the folds will not work. Because at one point we'll be opening it along this and folding it, but you can't do it the other way, so it will not work. So make sure you have it like this. And then you're going to want to take this edge right here, only one of the flaps, and you're going to want to fold it to the middle. And for folds like these, you'll actually want to save a little space instead of trying to get it as close to the middle as you can, because what we're going to do in the finished model is we're going to be folding it like this. And if you have it too close together, it will actually fold the paper in a very small area inside the paper, and then it gets warped and it won't work very well. It'll just be hard. And then after you've done both the sides, you'll want to flip your paper over and do the same thing for the other side. Once you are done with this, then you will want to do a fold of this triangle up here that will be another guide fold. What we are doing right now is we are creating the guide folds for the base to allow us to do more complicated folds easy. So for this more complicated fold, it's going to be the squash fold. And you're going to open the first flap of the module up. You don't want these triangle pieces, and you don't want to pull the entire module up. You only want this first layer. Then you'll open the module up. The paper should stop at that crease that you made with the triangle, which is right here. And then these extra triangle-shaped creases right here are going to be your guides for folding it all the way up and then having it come back in on itself. That is a squash fold. And what that does is it allows us to create the wings and the head of our crane. So after you do it on this one side, you'll want to flip your paper over and do it the same thing on the other side. It'll be a little harder on one side than the other because, like I was saying earlier, the way you fold the paper matters. So basically what happens is your model will be trying to fold it the other way than what you're trying to make it do in this fold. So what I do is I tend to do it the easier way first and then the hard way. But it doesn't matter the order. Now you'll have this nice little diamond-shaped object. This is a special base from the Waterbomb base called the bird base. And it's called a bird base because you'll create a lot of bird and avian type bolt fields out of it. So like the dragon that we will do, that also uses this base. But from here, you'll want to fold this edge towards the middle and this edge towards the middle on the same side. But make sure to only get one flap. Otherwise, the fold on the other side will not go against you, and that's not very fun. because it'll end up that it just makes some of their more complicated folds harder. After you have done this, you'll want to fold it over to the other side and then do the same thing. Fold this edge to the middle, fold this edge to the middle as well. Make sure to leave a little bit of space in between them just so that your fold doesn't get scrunched. It's what I call it. It just means that you have too little space in between your folds. It doesn't really help. It makes the folds look a little bit bad, in a sense that it just takes some of the visual appeal out of your build. After you are done with that, you're going to want to look at your model on the side, and you'll see that it opens a little bit. We're going to swap the orientation of which it is. So normally you'll see these two open flaps on both sides, but what you're going to do is you're going to open both models on the sides, and that allows you to make it look so there's no more of those flaps. They're actually in the inside now. And then you'll want to fold up those flaps that you've made, those extra flaps, as far as they can go. Those will be this will be the head and the tail. It doesn't really matter which way you choose, because you'll be able to rotate it at will. And then you'll fold it back. Sometimes if you got your folds a little close, they'll still be a little scrunchy, but this doesn't really matter. It just makes it look a little worse. After that, you'll see these two big flaps right here. You'll fold those down as far as you can make them go. Do not rip the paper, because that will not be good for your bird's health. You'll do that on both sides, and now you have your wings. For this next part, what you'll do is you'll take your head or tail, and you're going to pull it to the side, and then you're going to fold it. And what that actually does is it makes this angled. What you're doing is you're folding that, and then that angles it off to the side. And then you'll want to do that for the other one, about the same amount, but it doesn't have to be. It can be more or less. And then you'll want to pick one side you want the head or the tail to be. And then you pick the side that you want the head to be. And then you're going to open the model up a little bit on the side. And then you're going to fold it down. And then you are going to close the model back up, and it's going to fold and give you a nice little head. And then you've got your tail, and then you pop open your wings, and then you have your crane.